The first morning in the mansion, sunlight bled into the massive room, spilling across the velvet curtains. Y/N stirred, her body heavy from restless sleep. For one moment, she forgot where she was. Then her eyes snapped open. The black silk canopy above her reminded her. The mansion, the mafia boss, the nightmare. The door creaked open. Y/N tensed. Jungkook stepped in, dressed casually this time. Black shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows, veins showing along his forearms. He looked less like a mafia king and more like a predator at ease in his territory. "Good morning, wife," he said smoothly. E/N sat up instantly, pulling the sheet tighter around herself. "Don't call me that." He smirked, walking toward the bed. "You'll get used to it." "I'll never get used to this." "You kidnapped me, Jungkook. You threatened my parents. You think that makes you a husband? You're nothing but—" Her words cut off as he grabbed the bedpost, leaning down close enough that his breath brushed her lips. "Careful, sweetheart," he murmured, his voice a dangerous purr. "You're talking to the man who holds your entire world in his hands. Every reckless word you throw at me, it comes at a cost." She glared at him, refusing to look away. "Then kill me." "Because I'll never obey you." A flicker of amusement crossed his face. He tilted his head, studying her like a puzzle. "You're brave," he admitted. "I like that." "But you'll learn. Everyone bends to me eventually." He stepped back and clapped his hands once. A maid entered quietly, placing a silver tray on the table. Breakfast, croissants, fruit, coffee. "Eat," Jungkook ordered. "I'm not hungry." "Eat," he repeated, sharper this time. She crossed her arms stubbornly. "No." A slow, dangerous smile spread across his lips. He pulled his phone from his pocket, dialing casually. "Shall I call the guard at your parents' house?" "See if they're awake yet?" Her face drained of color. You wouldn't—" "I would." He cut her off coldly. "In fact, one word from me, and your mother won't live to see lunch today." Now, her hands trembled as she reached for the fork. She stabbed at the fruit, hating herself for obeying. Each bite felt like swallowing glass. Jungkook sat on the edge of the bed, watching her with sharp satisfaction. "Good girl." Her fork clattered against the plate. "Don't you dare call me that." He leaned in again, so close his lips brushed her ear. "What should I call you then? My doll? My prisoner? Or my wife who belongs to me in every possible way?" Her eyes burned with tears. "You'll never have me." His hand shot out, gripping her wrist tightly. His voice dropped, silk over steel. "I already do, YN. Every second you breathe inside my mansion, every tear you cry, every choice I strip from you, it proves one thing." His dark eyes locked onto hers. "You're mine. Body, mind, soul. Even your rebellion belongs to me." She yanked her wrist free and spat. "I hate you!" For a moment, silence stretched. Then Jungkook chuckled low, almost enjoying her fury. "Good," he whispered. "Hate me all you want. Just don't forget, hate ties you closer than love ever could." "Get dressed," he ordered. "We're going downstairs." "I don't want—" His eyes narrowed. That wasn't a request, YN. Her fists tightened in the sheets, but she got up. A maid quickly entered with folded clothes, placing them on the bed. A simple white dress. YN hesitated. "I can choose my own clothes." Jungkook tilted his head. "Not anymore. What you wear, what you eat, when you sleep, all of it is mine to decide now." Her voice shook, but she forced courage. "You can't control everything about me." He smirked, leaning close. Watch me! The dining room was enormous, table stretching long with polished silverware. Jungkook sat at the head, like a king on his throne. Guards stood by the walls. YN stood frozen near the doorway. "Come here," he said, his tone sharp. She walked over reluctantly, sitting at the opposite end of the table. A maid hurried to serve food, but Jungkook raised his hand. "Stop!" The maid froze. "From now on," Jungkook said slowly, eyes locked on YN, "she'll cook for me. She'll clean this mansion. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, all by her hands. Understood?" The maid bowed, retreating. YN's eyes widened. "What? Number. I'm not your servant." Jungkook's smirk returned. "No, you're my wife, which means you'll serve me better than anyone else could." "I won't," she snapped, trembling with rage. His voice dropped, lethal calm. "Then maybe your parents will pay the price for your stubbornness." Her blood ran cold. "Don't touch them." "Then do as you're told." Her lips trembled. "You're a monster." He leaned back in his chair, sipping his wine even though it was barely morning. "Say what you want, princess. But remember this. Monsters don't live under your bed. They live in mansions like this. And they own you." Tears stung her eyes, but she blinked them back. "You'll never own me." "Really?" He gestured toward the untouched plate before him. "Then prove it. Cook for me. Right now." Tears stung her eyes, but she blinked them back. "You'll never own me." "Really?" He gestured toward the untouched plate before him. "Then prove it. Cook for me. Right now." The kitchen was massive, shining with polished counters. Unfamiliar to her, Y/N clumsily chopped vegetables, burned her hand on the stove, and nearly dropped a pan. Guards leaned against the doorway, smirking silently at her struggle. When she finally placed the dish in front of Jungkook, he lifted a fork, tasting one bite. Silence. YN waited, breath caught. Then his jaw clenched. Pathetic. He pushed the plate away. Her chest tightened. I tried. Trying isn't enough." He leaned forward, voice low and sharp. "You think you can resist me by serving me garbage? If you want your parents breathing tomorrow, you'll do better." Her tears spilled over. "Please, stop bringing them into this. They've done nothing to you." Jungkook's gaze darkened, but his tone was almost soft. "On the contrary, they raised you. They gave me the one thing I wanted most. For that, I should reward them." Her lip trembled. "Reward?" He smirked coldly. "Their reward is that they're still alive. For now, afternoon." He made her scrub the marble floor under the gaze of guards. He made her polish the long wooden dining table until her fingers ached. Each time she slowed, he'd lean close and whisper, "Do better. Or I'll make the call." By evening, her body was trembling with exhaustion. Jungkook finally dismissed the guards, walking her back to the bedroom. He leaned against the doorframe, eyes scanning her. "You hate me," he said plainly. Her voice was hoarse. "More than anything." "Good." His smile was dangerous. "Hate keeps you awake at night. Hate ties you to me tighter than love ever could." He stepped closer, his breath brushing her ear. "Rest, YN, tonight. I'll come for you." Her heart stopped. She stumbled back, eyes wide. Don't." But the door clicked shut, locking her inside again. She collapsed to the floor, sobbing, whispering to herself, "I won't break. I won't." But deep down, she knew. The night was only going to be worse. The mansion was silent. Too silent. Y/N sat curled on the bed, clutching the blanket tight around her trembling body. She hadn't touched dinner. She hadn't moved. Every tick of the clock on the wall felt like a countdown to something inevitable. Then it came. The heavy click of the lock. Her breath caught. The door opened, and Jungkook stepped in. No guards, just him. His black shirt was half unbuttoned, his gaze darker than the night outside. He shut the door softly, and the sound echoed like thunder in YN's chest. "Still awake?" he murmured, his eyes scanning her form. "Good. Saves me the trouble of waking you." "Don't come near me," she whispered, voice shaking. He smirked, unhurried as he walked toward the bed. "Why not? You're my wife, aren't you?" "You forced me," she snapped, tears burning her eyes. "This isn't marriage. This is a prison." "Maybe," Jungkook said, shrugging off his jacket and tossing it onto a chair. "But even in prison, there are rules. And rule number 1," his voice dropped as he leaned closer, "you belong to me." Her breath hitched as he sat on the bed, the mattress dipping under his weight. She scrambled backward, hitting the headboard. "Stay away." He chuckled low, like her fear amused him. "You keep saying that, YN, but you're forgetting. Every time you tell me to stay away, you're reminding me how much I own your fear. And that is mine, too." Tears slipped down her cheeks. "I hate you." "Good," he whispered, moving closer. His hand reached out, gripping her chin firmly, forcing her to look at him. "Hate me all you want, but don't think it will save you." She shoved at his chest, but he barely moved. "Please, don't do this. I'll cook. I'll clean. I'll obey your stupid rules. Just don't." His laugh was sharp, cutting her off. "You think this is about cooking? Cleaning? Obedience?" His lips hovered dangerously close to hers. "This is about claiming what's mine," she whimpered as his thumb brushed along her jaw. "You can't force me." "I can," he growled softly, eyes blazing. "And I will. Because when I look at you, YN, I don't see a choice. I see destiny. I see the one thing in this rotten world I want, and nothing will stop me from taking it." Her heart pounded as his hand slid down her arm, pinning her wrist to the bed. "Let me go!" she cried, struggling. His grip only tightened. "Stop fighting me. You'll only make it rougher." Her eyes widened in horror. "You're sick." "Maybe," he whispered darkly, leaning closer until his lips brushed her ear. "But you'll remember this night for the rest of your life." She twisted desperately, tears streaming. "Please, Jungkook, please don't." For the first time, his expression flickered. Something unreadable crossed his face. Anger, desire, obsession, all tangled together. He released her suddenly, standing up from the bed. Y/N froze, stunned, chest heaving. Jungkook ran a hand through his hair, breathing heavy as if he was holding himself back. He looked down at her, his voice low, dangerous. "You're lucky," he said, eyes burning into hers. "If I touched you tonight, I wouldn't have stopped." She swallowed hard, trembling. He leaned down one last time, his lips ghosting over hers without touching. "But don't think your begging saved you." "It didn't. It only made me want you more." Straightening, he walked to the door. "Sleep well, wife," he murmured. "Tomorrow, I won't stop." The lock clicked behind him, leaving YN shaking, clutching the blanket to her chest as silent sobs racked her body.